Donald Trump thinks he is the law. He is the Constitution. He is America. Disloyalty to Trump is treason against the United States. I hold in my hands a memo written on May 29th by Vince Haley, Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy. And in this 30-some page memo, maybe just 30, it outlines new hiring criteria for the federal government, in which they require applicants to get a job with the federal government to write an essay, a glowing essay talking about Donald Trump and his policies. And you have to fanboy, you have to gush like a sycophant over Donald Trump in order to just get your foot in the door and get a job with the federal government. They are really trying to structurally change, to alter the makeup of our federal government. I talked yesterday in a video about Russell Vogt. I always want to say Vought, like he's one of those The Boys characters, the villains in that superhero show on Amazon. But it's Vogt, not Vought. He is a villain. But in it, I talked about his desire to traumatize federal employees. I guess apparently not if you have been vetted in your weird 4-question essay that's going to supplant, it's going to take the spot of an actual application process where you put in your resume and people have to pore over to ensure that you're actually qualified. The only qualification for this new Donald Trump government, as according to this May 29th memo, is obsequious praise and delight about Donald Trump and his policies and his executive orders, because Donald Trump doesn't govern through legislation. He governs through the stroke of a pen that his nursemaid, Will Scharf, explains. I'm going to read a little bit from this to give you an idea of just how sycophantic they want new employees to be. This is from page 9 and 10, I believe, in this 30-page memo. Improving the job application process. USA Jobs will add standard language in the job opportunity announcement template, emphasizing that candidates should be committed to improving the efficiency of the federal government, passionate about the ideals of our American republic, and committed to upholding the rule of law and the United States Constitution. And all job opportunity announcements will state that candidates will not be hired based on their race, sex, color, religion, or national origin. This is the other thing. Let me talk about this very briefly. This talk about identity politics in America. Conservatives, even some liberal types, people like Sam Harris, the atheist, a new atheist philosopher, I guess, who really kind of leaned into being a bigot, and then Trump showed up and he backed away and kind of changed a little bit of his tune, but he's still who he is. He bemoans identity politics. The problem with these people who focus on, who obsess on identity politics is it's just not their identity that's being focused on. If you're a white man who's obsessed with identity politics, you're playing identity politics. It's just the white, straight man's identity that you believe is being neglected. It's still identity politics. Anyway, let me continue to read here. Going forward to implement Executive Order 14170, all federal job vacancy announcements graded GS5, which is not very high, by the way, or above will include 4 short, free response essay questions. Number 1. How has your commitment to the Constitution and the founding principles of the United States inspired you to pursue this role within the federal government? Provide a concrete example from professional, academic, or personal experience. This is a ruse. This is nothing but nonsense, because Donald Trump himself has no commitment to the Constitution and the founding principles of the United States. He is not inspired by the document to which he has sworn an oath at all. We know this because he is violating court orders. He's defying the United States Supreme Court in a 9-0 ruling to facilitate the return of Kilmar Obrego Garcia. We're in a full-fledged constitutional crisis, and everybody's acting as though too many people, let's clarify the language here, too many people are acting as though everything's normal. Everything's fine. If Joe Biden were to refuse an order from the United States Supreme Court, Republicans would be apoplectic. Number two, in this role, how would you use your skills and experience to improve government efficiency and effectiveness? Provide specific examples where you improved processes, reduced costs, or improved outcomes. And then number three, and I think this is the most fawning of Donald Trump that they're looking for. How would you help advance the president's executive orders and policy priorities in this role? Identify one or two relevant executive orders or policy initiatives that are significant to you and explain how you would help implement them if hired. This is the prompt for people, applicants, MAGA applicants, to gush about Donald Trump, how marvelous his executive orders are, not implementing the laws of the land as written and passed by the legislature, the legislative branch, the House and the Senate, then forwarded on to the president's desk for signatures. You know, the normal way that laws are enshrined in this country. Instead, Donald Trump thinks he is the law. He is the Constitution. He is America. Disloyalty to Trump is treason against the United States. Apparently, Donald Trump thinks that his oath was to himself and not that he will faithfully execute the office of president and support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I guess when you are that domestic threat to the Constitution, it would be hard to actually take that oath seriously. And then number four here, how has your strong work ethic contributed to your professional, academic, or personal achievements? Provide one or two specific examples and explain how those qualities would enable you to serve effectively in this position. And then finally here, this is where they explain why they're changing the application process and that they're doing away with the long form resume. They think it's for efficiency reasons, but it's actually what they need is just to read the essays that are only 200 words per prompt, by the way, so they can quickly weed out the people that aren't sufficiently loyal to Donald Trump. Applicants will be required to certify that they are using their own words and did not use a consultant or AI, such as a large language model. To reduce the burden on candidates, responses cannot exceed 200 words per question. The merit hiring plan, which, by the way, is the name of this endeavor, this merit hiring plan will prohibit the current long-form federal resume structure. Instead, there will be a 2-page limit on resume length. This will make resume review easier and make it easier for employees to move between the private and federal sectors. This is to do away with a cumbersome qualifying portion of the hiring process where they don't care about your actual academic or professional qualifications. The thing that matters is fealty to the dear leader, is praise for the demigod. You must be initiated into the cult and verified sufficiently by the high priests and priestesses in the cult of Donald Trump that you are pure enough. Maybe pure enough of race as well, right? Since this is a white supremacy government that we're under. Or obviously there are members of the administration that are not white, but they're breaking their backs carrying water for white supremacy. You got to say that so the trolls don't. What about Kash Patel? What about Tulsi Gabbard? She's not white. Yeah, she's carrying water for white supremacy. Save your breath, dingus. Anyway, what do you think out there? The non-dinguses, the non-dingai, the normal people. You know, you. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. You can follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere, mainly on Blue Sky, but just about everywhere else at Dollemore. And if you want to help support this work, please, one, make sure you're subscribed. There's all kinds of, it's starting to get back to normal. but it's still not great. And I blame the YouTube algorithm. I don't think it's full on shadow banning yet. I'm still looking into it. Anyway, make sure you're subscribed, like and comment, share this video. And if you want to help support monetarily for $2 a month, you could do just that. Click the join button, become a channel member, or go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you for your engagement, your passion, your organization, trying to make this country a better place. Be genuine. Take care of one another.